Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out here today. I really appreciate you. Thanks to everyone that have subscribed. Please, if you haven't yet subscribed, do click on the subscribe button down below, and also do give us a thumbs up. Just hit on the like button just to let us know you do appreciate what we're doing here. So the news we have today is from China. China has fired back at Obi Ezekwesili. Let's recall that in the last week, what happened was Nigerian lawyers filed a suit against China, asking them to pay 200 billion naira for this the coronavirus that it brought into the whole nation. And it went on like that. But also, Ezekwesili, in a post, she wrote that China needs to compensate Nigeria as well. That China needs to pay for some compensation. And China, what they did was that they replied her back, and that's how it has been. So I'll just go straight into the content. Demand for compensation senseless and irresponsible. China fires back at Obi Ezekwesili. The Chinese embassy in Nigeria has lambasted Obi Ezekwesili, a former Minister of Education, for demanding compensation from China over the coronavirus pandemic. Recall that Ezekwesili had last month told China to pay compensation to African countries over the coronavirus pandemic. Ezekwesili, in a post on the Washington Post, said China must pay for failing to manage COVID-19, which had severely injured Africa's development prospects and worsened the conditions of the poor. According to her, the best solution was for China to accord damages and liability compensation to Africa. She maintained that Africa should not suffer more because another powerful country failed to act responsibly. Reacting, the Embassy of China in Nigeria said Ezekwesili's remark was no sense and was irresponsible. A statement issued and signed by Son Sayong, press secretary for the embassy, said China has been open, transparent, and responsible since the outbreak of the disease, calling on the international community to work in solidarity and not resort to mutual accusation or demand retribution and accountability. Song wondered if the United States offered compensation to countries for the 2009 HINI flu. Song noted that the financial turmoil in the US triggered by the collapse of Lehman Brothers in 2008 turned into a global financial crisis, and no one asked the US to take the consequences. The embassy, however, asked Ezekwesili to respect facts, science, and international consensus and stop allowing herself dance to other tune. It also accused Ezekwesili, who was the former vice president of the African region at the World Bank, of attacking and blaming China for nothing. Did anyone ask the US to offer compensation for the 2009 HINI flu, which was first diagnosed before breaking out on a large scale in the US and then spread to 214 countries and regions, killing nearly 200,000 people? AIDS was first reported in the US in the 1980s and then swept across the world, including Africa, causing untold sufferings to countless victims. China has taken the most comprehensive, rigorous, and thorough measures to contain its spread and conduct international cooperation. In this process, China had made tremendous sacrifices, accumulated valuable experience, and made significant contributions to the global response. The international community bears witness to and applauds China's efforts and progress, it said. The embassy reiterated that COVID-19 was a common enemy to mankind and China is a victim, not a perpetrator or an accomplice. We must understand that our enemy is the virus, not China. The international community can only defeat the virus by pulling together. Attacking and discrediting others will not save time and lives lost. Guardian quoted the embassy as saying. So this came from the China embassy in Nigeria, and they reacted to Ezekwesili's post. So Ezekwesili was demanding compensation for all African countries, and her own stand, her reason for doing that, or the yardsticks, is bent on the fact that African countries are still classed as developing countries. So she feels like this virus that China brought, other countries their economy are strong enough to handle it, and it's African countries that are paying for it. But I understand the fact China, it's this disease, they did their best to contain it, and if you check, it wasn't even a Chinese person that brought COVID-19 into Nigeria. It was an Italian man that went to Europe. It was an Italian man that brought this thing. So blaming China at the moment, it's quite on the other side. That's a different. I know people do have different school of thoughts, but I would say that is it China that should be blamed now, or is Nigeria or the African countries that claim they are suffering, that were not prepared, that their economy, they did not pay attention to building their economy, to building all the necessary infrastructure needed in the country to fight times like this, because these are difficult times that no one thought will come now, but they were not prepared enough. Let's take Nigeria for example. Our healthcare system was not in place, was not in any form of shape. So Ezekwesili, it's right to attack China, it's right to channel that energy and all of that towards China. But what about the Nigerian government? What have they done? What did they do to our healthcare system? They don't even get treated in Nigeria, and that is why they don't even know. We remember the other day that Boss Mustafa made a statement that drew a lot of criticism when he said that he didn't know that the healthcare system was this bad. So it's true, they might not even know, because if they get ill, any small little illness, they've flown out of the country, they're out of the country, zap. They've gone to take treatment and they are back. So they are not even in touch with what is going on in Nigeria, in the country. And now COVID-19 has come to expose all that they've been doing, all the allocations that are meant to be, all the funds that are meant to be allocated to make our healthcare system very equipped and very up to date. Those monies goes to places we don't know, that cannot be accounted for. Now Ezekwesili is blaming China, that China has to pay compensation. Like I said, I quite agree. If they want to pay compensation, it's fine, because this pandemic came, it was through them. But China is also asking a question that other diseases have come through other countries. We know that HIV was first recorded in America and all of that, but that none of all of these diseases has been as tough as this COVID-19. COVID-19, I don't think we've seen this type in the short history. So blaming China once again, like I said, I have a different school of thought. I don't know if you do have your own school of thought. Please do share below down in the comment section. I feel that it's our Nigerian government that has failed us. How many countries are seeking compensation from China at the moment? All the energy they are putting in right now is to see how their economy bounces back, how they are able to cater for their citizens, to ensure that their citizens are not suffering. But what we are busy doing, we are playing the blame game right now. We are playing blame game when it's not. Is it China that made our healthcare system bad? Are they the ones that made us not to have oxygens in all of the hospitals? You can imagine no oxygen. The emir that died the other day, the emir of Rano, when he was taken to Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, there was no oxygen. Was it China that caused that one? I don't understand. But anyway, please do leave your school of thought, like I said, down below in the comment section. We want to say thank you once again to everyone that comes out here. Thank you for subscribing. Please, if you haven't yet subscribed, do press on the subscribe button down below, and also do hit on the like bell. We want to say thank you once again. Till I come your way again, it's bye for now, and God bless.